As you'd probably expect, the job list is still there, but at this very point, Jess is at the back. She's going to start cleaning out the back of the tub, and she's going to go along and weld all the way along here. We still have the wheel arches that we've chopped out because there was foul play happening, because I've shifted that tub forwards. Front guard, it needs to be corrected. Hammer and dolly it as best as I can because it looks like it's been crimpled a little bit. And a big dent at the front, right there. So I'm going to start on that. Jess is going to do that, and then I might take the glass out. Oh yep, the other thing I've got to do is put the other seat in. So I've got to go get that seat, get the brackets done. That's what we're going to start on. Wish us luck. Alright, if you're still with us, we have been cranking on this all day, as you could probably tell by the hyperlapse and time lapse and whatnot. But have a look at this. Let me just shut this air hose up. Dead. So we have got the bonnet in place and finished doing the big massive cut. And this is what I was explaining on the other videos. I've had to shrink the back of the bonnet and then extend the front. So this is 3 panels here plus 2 more. So that's 6 pieces just to make that sort of curve. It was a mission and it's not finished yet, so don't judge. Well, you can judge if you want. We got this front chain. This is double row Chinaman chain from a place I used to work. They found it in the scrap bin before you dob me in. This here is going to be the feature of the bonnet, and it's basically welded inside and out, and it goes all the way around. And I've had it jointed here because it drops down. I still have to figure out some hinge systems and a latch system because obviously the original thing's not there, so got to figure that out. We've got the back section fully welded up in the tub. Just did a great job on that. And a few other bits and pieces. Hammer and dolly on this guard. It's all much straighter. And now we're just working on the brackets, if you probably saw from the last hyperlapse, on the seat. But long story short is it's getting dark, so you guys can't see much more. I'm going to keep working in the dark because I'm a weapon and I need to get this thing done. But we'll be back tomorrow for a quick update and see where we're at. See you in a bit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's the morning again, and I stayed up till about 1:30 last night cranking on this thing. I have got so much done. It doesn't look like much, but yeah, I've got the guards off. I've repaired all the guards, repaired all the rust in the whole cab, finished off those guards underneath there, finished the tub mounts, and yeah, as I said, done the rust on the back quarter here. You know, it's pretty good. As you see, it's got white on it, so I slapped it with a bit of epoxy because I was going to do the patina. I spoke about doing a patina over this rusty shell, but I think because it's actually coming up pretty good and I don't really feel like doing it all again in a year's time. You know, I think I can get away with doing it semi-properly now. So 3.5 days left until the car show on Saturday. So it's coming up pretty good. I've done a lot of panel beating too. You can see that back guard now is looking schmick. It was all like deformed. Finished all on the body. Yeah, it's coming up pretty good. It's coming up pretty good. Hatch. So I was going to keep it because it's ex-military, but you can see that it's yeah, pretty. It's cool, but it's ugly. I'm not going to lie. It's like it's literally kinked the roof when they installed it. They just must have hammered it flat and just welded it on. So I'm going to get rid of that handle and then cut that out and then try to make up a full piece to replace that top section and do a full weld. So that's going to be a couple of hours actually. So I'm going to do this, do that, and then I'll get back to you. And then maybe by that time, we can start doing the interior. Oh, I've got to do the doors as well. I'll do that, and then the doors. That's the plan. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Pretty happy with the roof patch, if you watched it. For how quickly I slapped it on there. Yeah, it probably took about an hour and a half to do that. So it's not too bad. I do have a little bit of slack right there. See that in that top panel? That's because this here needs to come up. So I need to hammer that up. We should take some of that slack out. Because, yeah, you see, it needs to come up like there somewhere, but I've got to stuff around with that while I weld it. Overall, pretty happy. It's much better than that hatch. Once I get it all finished up and ground down, I'll do that tonight. And finish off these other patches once I finish that tonight. And I might even spray a coat of epoxy on the cab and the tub, or sand that down. It'll be a couple of hours sanding that. Yeah, so pretty cool. So hopefully tomorrow we should get some paint on. That's the plan anyway, the outside painted. I've got the epoxy primer on the guards. So they're nice and epoxied, so they're ready for bulk body filler. We're going to do it. We're going to get there. Good morning. So I've been up for a couple of hours now just sanding, finishing off some grinding and grinding that roof and all that sort of stuff. Come pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. It's actually the straightest part of the car now. Right, so I've ground down the black single stage gloss black I put on the guards and stuff because I figured I've already done the other guards back to bare metal. I'm going to do the whole lot back to bare metal. I'm not doing it twice. Yeah, so I'm going to sand all this back, sand that back, and epoxy the whole lot. And then I'll start the bodywork this afternoon. So that's the plan. Not much to show except for the tools. I tried the burnishing tool. It's just a little bit too hard and old. The old brown paint. It's, you know, it's brown paint, yes, but it's also rusty. I'm not going to deny that. But It's mostly that the pitting and the rust, everything, it just doesn't work. I tried the wire wheel, but the best thing I've found so far is just the stripper discs. It really takes it off pretty quick. When I say quick, probably still an hour, but slow down, Twisty. All right, that's the plan. Sand, epoxy, body fill tonight. I've got the half for today and tonight, Thursday, then Friday. So 2.5 days left. And look at it. 2.5 days. Remember this moment, okay? I'm serious. Like, I screenshot my watch. It's the 21st. If you can see it, it's all welded and buggered. 21st of the 8th, Wednesday, 11:30. 2.5 days to finish this. See how far I can get. I have a feeling that it's going to go pretty good, but who knows? I could be eating my hat at the end of this, and famous last words. So this happened. Pow. So I epoxied everything, and I had enough to do one coat, like one decent coat, and then I mixed up some high build primer, and that's why it's grey. So I did high build primer, and we were working late tonight while trying to edit the last video and get it uploaded. So I'm a busy boy. That aside, I've also got to do the actual bonnet. I'm going to sand it all down and get it hinged up and on the car. Paint down the side first. I've got to do the doors, both doors. I've done the rust repair out of that. That's a pain in the ass one, but you grind it down. Long story short is, yeah, I'm well and truly over my head, and I've got so much to do. Anything of interest, I'll be sure to record it and show you. Otherwise, see you in a jiffy. Wish me luck. Good morning. I am stuffed. My body is just screaming at me. I was at 2 o'clock last night. Been many days of midnight nights, and yeah, plus video editing as well. I'm buggered. I don't know if I can get this done. I know I was ambitious anyway, but I made some coffee. Oh yeah, mother's milk. Yeah, anyway, blah, blah, blah. This is where we're at. Well, first of all, looks pretty bloody good. Like, I'm just going to take that time. I think I've earned it to just say, wow, it's really come a long way. Like from, if you have watched, there's 7 videos in total on this car so far, like the original ones from when I was building it. So go back and watch them if you haven't, because it's a pretty cool story following it through. But from what I remember, this is so cool to have this looking like a car. So, and I've still got the seats, they're ready to go in. So once I've put all the doors and trim and, you know, sound deadening, it's going to look pretty complete, which is pretty cool. And the glass, that's another whole story. I've got to figure out how I'm going to put that in. But anyway, it's got a significant meaning for me, this car. Not specifically this car, but my old boy, rest in peace, Dad, he gave me a Morris Minor Ute ages ago when I was like 15 years old. I held on to it for like 4 years, just carried around, and as you know, when you're a young fella, you move around a lot, and I was just carrying this car, and I'm giving it away to one of my neighbours that helped me out a lot, you know, with like tools and stuff, so I ended up giving it to him. And like ever since, that was 15 years ago, ever since I've been trying to get it back from him. So this signifies that same ute, that Morris Minor Ute. Yeah, so I'll never sell this. It's just more of a sentimental thing for me. So it is, you know, 2-part reason why I'm working on this car. So it's a sort of a tribute to a memento, my old boy. He would have loved this thing. He would have loved this. But anyway, enough of that. It's the 22nd today. I've got 2 days, so today and tomorrow, and then the car shows. So, and oh yeah, this is the green. I remember picking it in the shop, and it looked pretty good on paper, but man, that is bright. And I was trying to match my logo. Oh well, it is what it is. I think that won't be too bad once it's all in green and has the black wheels and black trim. Anyway, that's the colour. I got 4 litres of it, so it's too late. Oh, that's a better look. It's very vibrant, isn't it? I do have a little tip today to show you when you're doing bodywork or sanding, scuffing. So when you're doing prep for paint or prime or whatever, you've got to scuff all the panels, right? Minimum of, a Scotch-Brite at least. So I bought some of these. Yep, that's pretty good. So what I bought this is for, instead of trying to sand in here, I can just get that and just go in the edges. And hard to get places with this, so it saves the knuckles. Also, bathtub scrubber. Yeah, I've got some black ones as well, like different tips. So, you can have interchangeable tops, I guess, on that one if you wanted to. Anyway, take that home with you. I'll try to make a TikTok video on it, see if I can go viral and not have to work ever again. Anyway, I'll get into it now. Okay, it's been like, I don't know, 5 hours, and I've already been to town and back because I forgot, I actually ran out of bog, or hardener for the bog. But you see, not much has been done on the front. The roof pretty much laid on. Got to sand it down, and I've started doing the back panel there. The other side's not too bad. I've done the back as well. So I just bought some stuff from a shop in town. I'm going to give it a go, Septone. It's just like, to me, it's just like, I don't know. I've never used it, but just cheap and nasty Repco sort of stuff. I normally use Evercoat, purple tin over there. Evercoat Rage Gold, which is pretty hard to sand. I've heard Ultra is pretty good, but I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't stuff me over by using this, but you saw the cab. It needs a lot of bog. I've been hammering and dollying as I go. So you can see here, like the white is the epoxy and the grey is the high build primer. So where I see metal or like the white start to come through, I can just tap it with my hammer and just sort of hammer it lightly in to remove the high peaks. I've been doing that on the top and it's shaping it as I go, and I'll try to hit up as well on the bottom if I need to, but you get the idea. The cab, as we spoke about, it's going to be like 90% bog because it was, bad. I've done the bonnet and the doors. They're sanded and epoxied now, so they're curing up. And I'm going to smash, now I've got more bog, I'm going to smash a good coat on everything. And while that's curing, I'll start doing the bodywork on them. And sort of jump between the two of them to the point where I can hang the doors back on the car and then close them and then keep doing the bodywork so it's all meshed in. That's the plan anyway. So bonnet, I haven't got a hinge system for it. I was just going to use some of these. I was going to use some of these cheap and nasty little hinges, just for now. But they don't even work because it doesn't actually pivot anywhere flat. So I've got to come up with an external hinge or a side hinge system. So I don't think the bonnet's going to be able to be closed. So I have to take it to town on the car trailer with no bonnet, and maybe the bonnet will fit in the back. Don't know. It's 3 o'clock. Yeah. If you don't use, another tip is if you don't use coarse enough sandpaper when you're sanding the bog, most times the bog's harder than your primer. So for example here, I was using 240 grit, and you can see that's where the dent was. And you'll have a little bit pushed out from the metal, but it was actually sanding here quicker than the actual middle bog. So what you can do is, because that plane there is flat, you get a hard straight block. So then it makes only cut on the middle. If you get two of a soft of a block, it will just fold around the bog, and you'll think it's flat, but when you run your hand over it, there's a big lump there because your block's folded around it. So where you can, get the hardest block as you can for that curve. Anything this way, I can pretty much get away with using a hard block. if I'm ever doing it this way, obviously, I won't be, but I'll be just cross hatching like this if it was me. And it is me, and that's what I'm going to be doing. But for this, for example, I'll have to use a soft block. Okay, I'm going to get into it. Okie dokie, so that was a hyperlapse of me sanding and bogging. Cool. But I'm not sure how quick I'll make the hyperlapse yet, but you might have seen me use the speed file. This. It was like $50. I've had it for like 8 years. It's pretty good, but it does get little bits of frozen ice on the exhaust, so it slows down if you use it constantly for a bit. And now purely that's just to rough it in, because obviously I had very, very bad substrate, like it was very dinted. So there's no point me blocking it by hand, using all my energy up when I've got to do like 50 coats. And you can see that's pretty much roughed in. The light pink is pretty well, the shape I need, and the dark spots are still low. So now that it's roughed in, using the mechanical gear, I'll probably seal that with epoxy, just so I'm resetting the base. So because I've got rub throughs and stuff. If you've got rub throughs and metal, epoxy again. Reset your base with another coat of epoxy, and block it back a little bit by hand, like actually do my cross hatches with a decent block, and that will highlight the finer lows. And then I'm going to go over it again with bog again, repeat the process what you just saw into the night, and fine tune those dints to hopefully get rid of them. And then when I'm happy with all the dints and they're gone, then the last step will be primer surfacer. I'll be painting tomorrow, the day before the car show, so I'll put a do not touch sign. You know how you go to the car shows, you see do not touch. It's not because it's a nice car, it's because the paint's wet. Oh, that cracked me up. Anyway, I'm going to get stuck into it tonight. Anything cool I'll show you. But I can just show you against this sunset. Hopefully you can see. That's just with the speed file with 40 grit. Oh, 80 grit, sorry. So you can see the body line. It's not shiny, but you'll see that it's pretty good, especially for flat surfaces like this. It really comes into its own. It takes 90% of the work away. So, but the curved ones, the rest of the car, it's actually not that good. Like, it just takes it down. I've got to fine tune it. Yeah, I do apologise that I'm not spending the time, showing you DIY tricks and stuff. But I'm under the pump, so I can't really spend a lot of time yarning away. Everybody, thanks for your support online. If you've been following my Facebook and TikTok and Instagram posts and stuff of this build, all those comments and stuff does mean a lot to me, and it sort of gets these old bones out of bed every morning when I'm screaming, body screaming not to get out. Anyway, cheers. I'll get back into it, and I'll see how I can update you tonight with what I've get done, or tomorrow morning. All right, as you've just seen, I've just put 2 coats of epoxy primer on it, and it looks pretty good in one color again. And the panel work is definitely not done. I just literally ran out of bog. Septone car filler ones, never had them before. I was pretty skeptical, but they're actually pretty good. They mix really well and they mold together. Like it's like once you put it on, it stays wet-ish, kinda. It sort of like melts in. If you've used it before, comment below, you'll know what I mean. But yeah, it spreads pretty good. It spreads really nice. There's more harder than you need, which is good, which Rage Coat, Evercoat Rage Gold, it seems like I always run out of the hardener. So yeah, I was actually pretty impressed with that filler, except I used 2 tins of it and I still need more. I'm gonna try to get more bodywork done. You can see a little dents showing up in the back. And it's important to remember is when you are doing bodywork and you've got all 1,000 different colors and it looks like a patch quilt basically, it's very hard to keep track on where you need to work, where you need to bog and all that stuff, because it just, all you're going off by feel, you can't see it. So every now and again, once you get pretty messy like you saw before, you need to give it a recoat. Either it's high, if you've gone through the metal, epoxy. If you haven't, then just primer surfacer or interface primer, just to reset it. I'll see how it goes tomorrow, how much time I got. Remember, tomorrow's the last day. I've still got to do the doors, I've got the windows in, I've got to do so much stuff. So at this point, it might be going in green. But it's not so much to win anything, it's just to show, hey, I built this from scrap and nothing. And it was mainly a goal for me to get my finger out and get so much work on this done. And I am taxed, but I'm so happy. Like about 5 or 6 days of actual tool time, and that is how far it's come. Don't look at the end, just set a goal and then just hit the milestone. Make little goals, get the tub done. I thought that was a snake. It's just the air compressor water trap letting out water. And just, no, that one's making noise. It's a bit creepy out here at night. Set your goal, whatever it may be, but don't just focus on the goal. Focus on milestones to get to that goal. And then you'll feel more rewarded if you hit 10 milestones than just having one unachievable goal. You're a legend if you're still there watching and supporting me, even if it's just a view that, it makes a lot, it means a lot to me. I can't speak, I need sleep, that's it. Thanks for tuning in, like, subscribe, share. I'm on my goal to 10,000 subs before December, so I don't think it's going to happen, but if you can make it happen, hit that sub button, please. And yeah, thanks for tuning in.